goal, Barca's quality just kind of shone through in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, and Real Madrid shoddy at the back.
Yeah.
I mean, the game was, particularly in the first half, was condensed in the middle of the park. It was very tight in there. But it came down to good movement from Dembele. In fact, great movement from Dembele, particularly for the first goal, where he peeled off the back of the very experienced Carvajal, who's quick, and he got sucked in, played the ball in behind, and then he cut it back, and they get off to a great start. And then it was him that made the run for the second goal in behind again with his pace. He's fit again. We wondered if he'd start. Obviously, he's a big player for them. And he made a big difference. But I thought in the first goal, I thought the Ramos challenge was a disgrace.
Yeah.
Because when he cuts that back, Dembele, to Luis Suarez, it's there to be won. And he kind of dangles a leg. And that allowed Suarez to get the shot away. Now, as a leader and a captain and a guy who's won it all, that's a crazy challenge for me. So it comes down to the poor decision-makings at the back and then, you know, being profligate at the other end. You can look at young Vinicius Jr. and say, he should have done this, he should have done that. I'm loath to criticise a young guy.
Yeah, he doesn't hide, does he?
Because, you know, he's learning the game, he's super talented, but he will have to eventually take that to another level in terms of the final third. If you compare and contrast to somebody like Raheem Sterling, and I'm not comparing players, I'm comparing somebody who did struggle in the final third and has greatly taken his game to another level in that area. And I think for every youngster, that's one of the things that they've got to work on the most.
When Vinicius started with Real Madrid, he would operate more out on the wing, where he's effective runner at defenders. And you saw that again, but through the middle, his first touch let him down. But still, he's the most exciting player in a Real Madrid shirt by some distance. From a Real Madrid perspective, this was the first leg all over again. Dominate early on, don't score. In fairness, Ter Stegen was outstanding, particularly in the first half. But you allow Barcelona that kind of freedom. You let them off the hook. In both legs, this is what you get. Also, you have Luis Suarez, who his name will be in the headlights this afternoon, given his performances, and especially what you saw from him over recent months. Lionel Messi, an assist for him. We always talk about strikers just need one. Maybe this is Luis Suarez regaining and refinding his form, which is great for Barcelona. But Real Madrid, all in all, only have themselves to blame. In both legs, as I mentioned, Barcelona, again, making the most of their opportunities after being let off the hook.
What was different today about Chelsea than the Chelsea we've criticised in the past?
Well, I tell you what, they did something very similar today that they did at the weekend at Wembley. They almost played, even with Higuain and Hazard out wide, they played like a 4-5-1. Right. And it was super defensive for long periods. It's what they did at the weekend. And then they hit Man City in the cup final and the counter-attacking a couple of times. That's what they tried to do again tonight, and they had success. And the reason that they're doing this is, one, you know, Tottenham did push them back. But two, I think Sarri, after, what, 6 or 7 months in the job, has finally realised that with this group of players, if they try and play an open, expansive game against the better teams in the Premier League, they're getting punished because the defence is not strong enough, the midfield is not mobile enough, certainly not Kovacic and Jorginho. So when they pack players around, and Pedro and Hazard or Willian, when he comes on, if they play deep and narrow and help the fullbacks, then Chelsea have got half a chance. And that's why it was another boring game, because I thought the cup final was pretty boring for long periods. That's why this one was boring. And Chelsea said to Tottenham, break us down. And that's been the big difference over the last couple of games.
Is this the future of Chelsea? Well, certainly until the end of the season. Is this the sort of formula they're going to use to grind out results, if you like, to get a place in the top four?
Not against the other teams in the league. Right. Because they'll go back to basics and try and play this more expansive game. But they did that at Bournemouth and got punished. So they have to be careful. They have to be careful. They've got to find a balance about, you know, want to be playing this attractive football under Sarri and leaving themselves open at the back. Because when they do try and play that football against the better sides in the Premier League, and I'm talking the top 5 or 6, they've been punished. They've been punished of late.
Right out the traps, they got that early goal, Craig, and they didn't look back, did they?
No, and they absolutely needed this, because as much as they had lots of possession at Old Trafford at the weekend, against a United side that they were dropping like flies, you know, all the key players were, you know, dropping injured, and they were bringing people on. Lingard come on, he went off injured. Yet they just, they could have still been playing at Old Trafford now. I don't think they would have scored. They got poor deliveries from the wide positions, which they improved on today, particularly with Trent Alexander coming back in the side. 2 crosses for the Mane goal. And that's a big part of Liverpool's game. You know, getting the full-backs forward, getting good delivery into the box, and to beat a Watford side that are an excellent Watford side at this point in the season, when they probably knew that Man City were going to take care of West Ham, although that was tight, but they would have thought that's 3 points. So the pressure was really on them. That was a big, big performance and result. What
I always think is telling these Liverpool games, if they get that early goal, they just seem to be off. Like, the shackles are off and then that's fine. There was no looking back, and that was certainly the case today.
Yeah, without question. This is the performance I think Liverpool fans have been waiting for quite some time as they started over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And without Bobby Firmino, you just wondered, is this kind of the team that Liverpool's title challenge really becomes unstuck, especially given some of the statements by Jurgen Klopp after that Old Trafford game. Yet they get the goal, they double down on that, and they don't look back. And it's a performance and a result that I think everybody in the red side of Liverpool have been waiting for, have been yearning, and I think can prove the foundation for them to push on between now and the end of the season, because things were starting to look like they'd truly come unstuck. Here's the thing. You're talking about the team sitting second in the table, the bookies have favourites. If this decides the league title, that's an injustice.
I suppose they'll go. You could go back those Salah and all that and all the penalties.
Fair enough, but we're really running right now. That's an injustice that I don't think the league needs, and we've all spoken about VAR, the need for it, but this just kind of underlines that, and rightly so. You understand the hurt that Pellegrini is expressing.
Former West Ham player Shaka Hislop there making his feelings clear.
See, I'm not sure VAR would clear some of these things up, because we're watching games from Spain and Italy at the moment, and they're operating VAR, and we're still seeing the most hideous decisions from muppets who are sat in an OB truck or back in a base somewhere, looking at incidents like that and going, nothing to see, carry on, penalty.
Having said all of that, Manchester City completely dominated West Ham. Fabianski was West Ham's, was arguably the best player on the pitch.
As you would expect. And West Ham going away from home, I think, particularly over the second half of the season, Pellegrini has got them far better organised on the road, and you saw that. Listen, I made the point yesterday that West Ham haven't been consistent enough, and maybe that showed itself. But again, I thought their performance today, a defensive one, maybe deserved a little bit more.
Welcome to Extra Time. What a busy day. So many matches going on everywhere. And the subject of our first tweet, is it sometimes frustrating that such good fixtures kick off at the same time? Which one did you guys watch? It is weird. I always think that weird with Champions League. Why not just stagger the 2 games? One at 1, 1 at 3, bish bash bosh.
The trouble is, yesterday the games were not great.
Yeah.
Today, you wanted to watch Liverpool because of the situation. You wanted to watch City because that's the nearest rival. Then the Chelsea-Tottenham game was a must because that's the big story, particularly with the manager. And then you can't not watch the Classico.
It's crazy, wasn't it?
I mean, so the trouble is I know you guys went to another part of the building where
so we had 6 screens,
multiple TVs. Yeah. I went down, gave it a bash, and gave up.
Yeah.
I went back to where we normally watch it, so I had 2 games. Real Madrid and Chelsea-Tottenham.
Yeah.
Can't do everything. You can't watch 6 games. You just can't take it in.
We had a bit of everything, didn't we, Shaq?
We did.
Yeah.
It was most enjoyable.
It was lovely. Mainly because he wasn't with us.
Nobody complaining about, I can't watch 6 games.
I know what happened. I came down. They said to me, the TVs are not working. And I went, all right, I'm away. As soon as I went out, they went, get them back up.
Yeah, that's it. Bang.
To be fair, I sat up there on my own. It was peaceful. Like Stevie Nicol at a bar.
That's not very good, though, because you're just left with your own thoughts.
Well, I do that at the gym when I'm staring at the till. It was peaceful. I was able to watch the 2 games.
Are you upset, Craig, that Real Madrid didn't reach their expected goals in the game?
What were they?
I don't know what the expected goals are. 2.34. It was higher than 0, I imagine. That's what they reached.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing.
What's softer? Charmin or that Manchester City penalty? George, you didn't chip in about the penalty. What did you make of it?
Oh, it was never a pen, but I defy anyone to tell me that was a pen. I mean, if Stevie was on, he probably would say it was a pen like he did yesterday. He was the only one who could see penalties. But apart from him, I can't see anyone who could tell us that was a pen.
He's at home watching reruns of that incident in the
Fiorentina game. He's looking at the spin.
And he's still saying, him and the referee are the only 2 people on this planet that still think that might have come off the arm.
Very rarely is Stevie angry. He was angry, proper angry yesterday.
Well, it's tough. He needs to toughen himself up and go and spend some money on some better glasses.
Good question for you here, Shaq. Would you want Ter Stegen or De Gea?
I want them to do it.
Which one?
Not
right now, Ter Stegen. Right now, I think Ter Stegen is the best in the world.
Who do you have, Jules?
Yeah, I agree with Shaq. I think Ter Stegen, he showed it again tonight. He showed it against Athletic Bilbao. Sorry, there was a photo of his save when the ball is going in the top corner, and he's like, I don't know, he looks like he's 10 meters above the ground, and he goes and gets that ball. It's an incredible photo, and it was an incredible save. And I agree with Shaq. I think he's the best in the world right now, without a shadow of a doubt.
I agree with Stevie. What do you say? What do you say? I agree with him.
Okay, from the sublime to why is Hugo Lloris still considered top-class keeper, continues to make top-class errors and lets everything in. What type of everything?
No, I honestly think the mistake was a bit of both.
Right.
I do.
But you always feel with him at the moment he's got mistake in him.
Always.
He's been inconsistent for some time.
Why?
He's getting old.
He can't be that old.
Oh, how old?
Should you ask a fellow countryman?
I'm going to go for 32.
Jules? You're right, apparently. He's 32.
I'm a bit biased. I try to be objective and pretend he's not a good friend of mine. I think what happened, the World Cup, it was such a high, and then what happened after the drink driving incident and everything, I think that hurt him a lot, and he struggled to get back to his best after that mentally. And there was that game against Barcelona, Wembley, where he made that huge mistake very early on in the game, and there was a few mistakes after that. I thought there was a much better period for him around Christmas, and even in the last few weeks, I think he saved the teams a few times, but that one with Trippier tonight, that misunderstanding there, lack of communication, you know, was a costly one and not a nice one. Even on the Pedro goal, maybe he could have done better as well with the ball going between his legs, but I still think he's a top goalkeeper.
How good a friend is he of yours, Jules?
Oh, good.
He's a really good friend.
Really? If you text him, would he text you back?
Yeah, I mean, there was that incident. Our producer Pete tonight will remember when the World Cup draw was made, and I was on the show, and you know, with that big show where we're talking about all the groups. And at some point, my phone rang, and it was him. And we had planned to do an interview for the French newspaper I work for. And I was saying to Pete, I need to take this call. It's Hugo Lloris, and I have to take this call. And Pete was like, what about if we need to talk to you? And I did the interview quickly. And no, we're quite good friends. He's a really, really good guy. He's a really, really nice guy.
To be fair, Jules, I do that with Pete anyway when I've got nobody on the other line. Just put the phone down, right? And just don't even try and blag it. Just put the phone down, and hopefully it'll go away. I'll be interested to see if Tottenham take the Chelsea approach. Well, now that there was a misunderstanding between the goalkeeper and Trippier, will they both be fined and dropped for the next game?
He's here all week, everyone.
Do you know Lloris was poor, he was hesitant in his decision making, but from a player's perspective, Trippier has to have his head up.
Right.
Yeah.
He had his head down, and he was completely unaware of what Lloris was doing. So I think it's a portion blame down the middle between the two of them.
Is Sanchez done? Another terrible performance despite the win.
Yeah. I mean, the trouble is, tell him go where.
Who's going to pay those wages?
Who's going to have Alexis Sanchez?
Well, I'll tell you what might happen. Yeah. It might be a case that I think United were still paying Moyes and Van Gaal when they sacked Mourinho. It might be a case where they have to offload him and partially pay his wages.
Yeah, that's a lot of
just to get 200,000 or 300,000 or whatever it is off the wage bill. It still could be beneficial to pay to be still paying 100,000 of them, or give them a package to leave. That's maybe what's going to have to happen.
Okay, we'll get down to business now. Before we do, open your Uber, because there's an Uber question coming up.
Yeah. Well,
what is your first off, Jules? Your favourite Indian dish? What's your go-to Indian?
Oh, I know mine.
I go onion bhaji every time to start, and then chicken korma. I don't like spicy food too much, so I'm a bit limited. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
You don't,
Do you know what, I blame my mum. My mum is a terrible cook. She never put any salt, any spice, anything. And the food was so bland in our house when we were growing up. That's how I grew up with.
Chicken korma. Why don't you just buy some rice at home and put a strawberry yogurt on the top of it? Chicken korma. I give that to my dog.
Sorry.
Craig?
Hot meat starter and either a hot chicken jalfrezi or a hot madras.
Yeah, I'll go hot jalfrezi. Peshwari naan is a must.
Yeah. No, I'm more into... I don't like the naan bread. I'm more into the...
the meat.
No, the... what do you call them? The crackers. What do you call them?
Poppadoms.
Poppadoms, sorry.
Mango chutney, very good.
Yeah.
Don't get good mango chutney.
You're out of this conversation, Jules.
Yeah.
You're out of that now.
Shaka?
Chicken korma's taking you out of that.
Rogan Josh, very good as well.
I prefer lamb, if you've got it.
Why did I have to open my Uber?
Yes, it's got to be hot.
Hot, sweating, you know, when you get the sweat on the cheeks.
I'm from Trinidad. We don't sweat.
Imagine Jules there.
We don't sweat the spicy food in Trinidad. It's not allowed.
What's Stevie's go-to India?
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, Stevie likes a really spicy shepherd's pie with mashed potatoes, mushy peas, and
extra
bread. That if you put, but he doesn't have the bread. He puts it in the toaster
because it
comes out with less calories.
Right. Final question is what? After yesterday's discussion, what is Craig's Uber rating?
I don't know. What do you mean? What's an Uber rating?
So you should have a rating with regards to your stars that Uber rider has given you.
Where do I find that?
On your homepage, though.
Go. Find it.
Well, I use them every Saturday night.
There you go. It's at the top there. You just go back to that page you're on. 4.98.
What?
What?
I tell you what, I'm going to have to. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, it's out of 10.
So I'm just not rating them; they're rating me.
Exactly. Yes.
It's whether I tip them or that.
Yeah.
And I chat. I'm always chatty when I come out in an Uber. Normally because I've had 15 Lagunitas at the bar, and my missus is going, "Oh, for God's sake, shut up!" And then I'm like, try to. Yeah, every Saturday night.
What's your rating, Shaq?
I don't know.
I didn't know you could get a rating.
Have a look, Shaq.
By the way, who's not rated me 5? Somebody's not done it.
What's that?
Well, I'm not perfect.
You're not 5 out of 5.
I've got the app. I can't remember the last time I opened this app.
Now, have you used it? Did you use it during your birthday celebrations? Because that may have affected.
No, I did not.
There you are. Press that there.
4.2.
See, and you all think I'm the horrible one on here.
What did you do, Shaq? What's yours, Jules?
4.8.
Wow, Shaka.
I've just checked.
What's yours?
Come on. I don't know what mine is. I don't want Stevie's.
It turns out I'm the friendly guy on here.
You're the friendly guy.
You know that. You know, away from this TV, I'm a very sociable guy.
Yeah, whatever.
I just turn very angry on here when people talk nonsense.
You're just pretending.
I've got a low tolerance.
I'm 4.85.
The winner. Thank you, everybody.
I think you're 4.8.
4.98.
4.98. The winner.
I'm not happy about mine, you know.
See, that confirms away from this.
Because he's so drunk when he's there.
That confirms away from ESPN FC, I'm a genuinely nice bloke. I've got a low tolerance for idiots.
Who'd have thought Shaka has upset Uber drivers in the past?
What's Stevie's?
What happened?
Oh, yeah, exactly. We want to know, Shaq.
I don't know.
That is it then. We'll be back tomorrow.
I'll keep an eye on that.
I'm going to call Uber about this.
Try to sort it out.
Hello, customer service.
Sort my rating out. OK, that is it. We are done. We'll be back tomorrow. Craig's here tomorrow. What a special treat that is.
Taking an Uber.